All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the HenshinCast first ever interview.
Man, we're the first.
Yes, you are the first.
Sweet.
Finally a virgin.
All right, but
That's not. Oh, okay.
as you probably can tell, I'm sitting with Aerosol,
Hello.
Shuquin Shinobi,
Hello.
and Jedimon 2005.
Hello.
From the RRR podcast, Dawson was a jerk and left.
Yeah.
I could be
Square.
Dawson if you want. I could.
All right, so let's get this thing started. How did the RRR podcast get started?
Oh. Stories. So way back. What was it? 2010.
2000.
4 years now. We were planning on trying to do something with a CS Toys podcast. That was what we originally were going to do because we were all in the live show and everything all the time. And we wanted to expand the store and stuff, and we were going to do a podcast. And
They'd already had a forum. Strikey's,
Yeah.
who's from I think Denmark,
Yeah.
had made a forum, and so we started talking.
Forgot about the forum.
I remember the forum.
I remember it. I just forgot.
And we said, hey, well, we should do a podcast, and we'll get Mr. S, because Mr. S has this great voice. Everyone loves Mr. S. We'll get Mr. S involved and have a couple of us, and we'll do it with him and talk about the toys and stuff like that. And time zones. We realized that there's such a thing as time zones, and when it's daylight in Japan, it is nighttime here, and vice versa.
Even though that's when we record, it actually would have lined up great.
Yeah, you really would have.
But we wanted to do that, and then that just never really took off again because of the whole time zones thing, and Mr. S couldn't be on the show. And we didn't really want to do a CS Toys podcast without Mr. S there because it just felt weird.
And the other half of CS Toys at the time being Superband. Superband is a flight attendant, and
he couldn't do it either.
Is almost never in the same place for very long because he's always flying every which direction.
And then we just decided to do this. Eventually, we met up with Dawson, and
Yeah, it was me and Shuki,
Formed it.
and we had a couple of different friends at the time that, well, yeah, we'll do it with you, and then things happened. We stopped talking to them for one reason or another, and then this guy said, "Hey, you mind if I add Dawson to our call? We talk on Skype every night. You mind if I add Dawson on the call?" Sure. I'm not nervous around new people at all. And then we started talking to Dawson, and actually he came up with the name Riders, Rangers, and Rambles.
yeah.
And one of the first things we said is, I think it was actually you, because you always are the good at these kind of things, is we're never going to call it RRR. That's just stupid.
That's like a phrase right out of the first episode if you go back and listen to it. I don't know if you can because I don't know if it's actually hosted anywhere right now, but I'm working on that. I say I am. I'm not. I am attempting it though.
When he says things like that, you don't listen to him.
That's kind of a good slogan for our podcast. We say we're going to do something. Nah.
Yeah.
All right, well, that sort of answered my second question of where does the name Riders, Rangers, and Rambles come from?
Yeah, obviously Kamen Rider, Super Sentai, and Power Rangers, and then
And we
Rambles
don't
is,
shut up.
I think we just predicted it, that we wouldn't ever shut up. Because, I mean, we didn't know how long we could talk at the time that we started the show. But I guess just by the length of our reviews, we kind of figured that we just keep going and going. So we thought it was a good choice. And
I mean, we've had shows as long as, 4.5 hours?
Yep.
5 hours?
I was going to high five you.
Oh, I thought that. I didn't realize that was a high five. I thought you were telling me 5 hours.
No,
It was pretty close to 5, though.
if we ever get to 5 hours, I'm probably going to die.
All right, okay, you heard it here first, folks. Well, that leads me to my third question. Where did the idea for the Ramble Time segment come from?
How long have we had Ramble Time?
I think it was
Well-
to fill space.
You guys, because I started out as a listener, so I've been listening since day one.
Just
And-
noticed the hat you've been wearing on that says System of a Down.
Yeah, it does.
I'm sorry, I just...
Been hanging out all weekend.
I've had a
Okay.
massive headache all day, so I'm better now.
But
Go
I
ahead,
remember,
Subway.
because I remember listening to this,
We ate
and
fresh.
you guys would constantly just go off on random tangents that had nothing to do with what the subject actually was. And it's like, well, this is ramble time, kind of as a joke. And then eventually you guys just sort of made it into its own
It
thing.
just stuck.
We had our own ramble time. I know we did the RRR and RRR segments, the retrospective Ranger rambles, and then it became random rambles, and then its own show that died. I think there's a Kabuto episode somewhere lost
Look.
in space. And yeah, we said we want to fill the space, and then we kind of made a little more structured ramble time where we go, okay, well, we're going to talk about Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! If it's not awful, and Arrow or whatever we're watching at the time, whatever shows are on and not being canceled because of non-existent toys.
All right.
Or Green Lantern.
So you guys have a lot of controversial opinions. Have you ever gotten that? Have you ever gotten that one person that's like, "You don't like Zeo Ranger, unsubscribe"?
Not directed toward the podcast, but me personally, absolutely. I'm very opinionated in most of my reviews because I'll throw things out there, like if I'm reviewing something with, like, say, G-Ranger on it, and I'll go like, well, even though I don't like G-Ranger, this toy is okay, or even if I thought G-Ranger was a piece of crap, this toy is okay, because I do generally like the toys, even if they have G-Ranger on them or whatever. And so you always get that person that's like, how do you not like G-Ranger? G-Ranger's amazing. And they're like, your opinion's awful. And I'm like, okay, fine.
I got that in a lot of my Forza figure arts. Is what you get is, and a lot of the figures, especially towards the end of the line, they're really good. Groundane, Skydane, the Meteor, Nadeshiko, Fusion, all those last few figures, they're actually pretty good figures. I don't like the form, I don't like the show. I think the form itself looks silly, but the figure itself is really good. There's no problems with it or anything. And I get these comments, how do you hate Forza? If you hate Forza, why do you have the figure? Well, at the time I bought it, I was buying all the figure art. That's just what I did. I was getting them all. And I think actually the Meteor, Nadeshiko, and Oki kind of put it on my list and I didn't ask for it. But that's, those things happen eventually sometimes and you just go whatever and roll with it. But yeah, that's what we get is, well, why do you buy the toy if you don't like it? Well, I review toys. That's what I do. Like, just because I don't like Forza doesn't mean I'm not going to go buy a Switch set, or I'm not going to go buy, the mag phone or the Switch rack. Well, no, I want the Switch rack to put all the Switches in. I don't care if I hate the damn show. And that's what you get, is you get it directed to us usually on our reviews, more so than, I think occasionally on Twitter. You'll get somebody will show up.
Occasionally.
Every so often you get a flyaway comment.
Yeah.
But we don't get too many negative comments on the podcast, at least not directed to us.
Yeah.
Every so often you can kind of see them out there in the
Every so
ether,
often you get
but-
someone going, why is that aerosol guy on there? I liked it so much better without him on there. And that literally was like one guy. So we
It's
just
okay, we love
we
you.
threw him off and said,
thank
go
you.
away, we don't care. We're keeping aerosol. We need an alpaca. That's what the show was missing.
Even if you did lie about the whole alpaca thing.
We needed more stuffed animals on the show.
Have there ever been any moments on the podcast that you regret?
I know what Shuki's is. First episode, when we find out Haim Saban has bought
Was
back...
that the first episode?
I'm pretty sure it was.
Oh,
And it was first or second. It was very beginning of the show.
look, I don't know. I'm not always
And,
right.
The direct quote from that episode is, only good things can come from Saban buying back PR. Then we got
Look.
Najee. Who, and in his defense, may not be the best actor, but Najee is one of the nicest people you will ever meet and very friendly and great with the
Yes.
fans.
Until you
the
read
whole
his Twitter.
The whole Samurai, he says crazy things on Twitter, but the whole Samurai cast, despite their acting abilities, have been really great and really good with the kids and the fans. But yes, that was, I know that's Brian's.
Yeah.
O's, that stupid little bitch Kamen Rider ends after double for me.
I told you I'm not always right.
That was another one of Brian's.
I'm wrong most of the time.
Yeah. Look, it's fruit and locks. This is going to be a stupid show. I'm not buying any of that. I'm never buying a Mobiris. I'm not buying Ranger keys. This is dumb.
All right.
Okay, I'm wrong a lot.
Yeah. I mean, I think for me, it's probably just not being able to keep the summaries like that first episode. Because the first episode, I didn't know what I was doing, and apparently I wasn't supposed to do a summary, and I just kind of did something. And then it was, that was really good. Do it again. What? Do it again?
That was the intention.
I couldn't really do it the first time. I just was stupid. And the more I tried to make it funny, the less it was. And it became more of me just retelling the episode in a 30-minute long summary. And it was a 22-minute show. And it was like a 30-minute summary.
There were times where the summary was just as long as the show.
Yeah.
That happened a couple times.
That's probably my one regret, is that I couldn't duplicate the funny.
I don't know if I have any long-standing regrets. Every so often we'll finish an episode, and the next day I'll be like, man, what did I say last night? I was so terrible. That was awful, or whatever. And then, the episode comes out and we get some fan reactions and people like it, and it's like, oh, well, I guess maybe I didn't make a complete fool of myself. But
Yeah, I know that feeling.
A lot of mine is just forgetting to say things. Like, we'll record a segment and I'll come back tomorrow and I'll go,
Yeah.
damn it, I should have said that. I wanted to say it beforehand. I thought of it and I forgot to write it down. I should write things down more.
Like that turtle movie we forgot to talk about on Thursday.
Son of a bitch! That'd be awesome. My regret is all the stupid puns I make every 30 seconds, especially in the title. Gime for this? It's Gime for more puns. That's how we talk. That's what we're going with.
So this is a question that is reaching back some, but what was it like starting Writers, Rangers, and Rambles.com with Renz?
Exciting. It was a really weird time because that was back when there was like the mini feud with CS Toys because everyone was revolting against their shipping prices and stuff. That was a long time ago, and are we doing this?
We're doing. Hey, honey.
We're doing this.
Hey. Look,
Okay.
Can I call you back in a little bit? Because I'm
very
doing an
sorry.
interview right now.
I didn't know this happened. This is a thing. I'm gonna keep going. So, I don't really remember what
I got
exactly.
hung up on it. She's mad. That's awesome.
I don't
No,
exactly
because I'm going to
remember,
sleep. Click.
What started the conversation? I think it was Mr. Yellow KO35 that brought up the idea initially.
Y'all should have his business. Y'all should have your own website. And we were like, that's great. We should do that.
Yeah, we thought it was a grand idea.
Then we realized none of us knew how to do that.
And then we got Ryoki on board, and he did all the design work and everything. And then it just kept growing and growing to a point where I think it kind of outgrew itself. If that makes any sense, I think it became too advantageous.
Right.
And then it started to go crumbly, and then we just split, and then they became Hirotaku. We just stayed the podcast, and
It was something that was exciting at first. I think we tried to do too much with it. I mean, I had all those the cool guy list with all the different figure arts lists and this, which I still do on the Shuki blog, just because I wanted to keep doing that, and I like having a checklist for myself.
I use it
which
all
is
the
mostly
time, so-
it's mostly what it was. A lot of that stuff started as something for us, a toy release schedule. So we would know when stuff came out, and we go, other people probably would like to see this too, and we put it up there. And we started hiring a bunch of people that we talked to, like our friends, and conflicting personalities start to take over. And it's just what happens. It's sometimes hard to work with your friends sometimes, and we didn't always know how to handle things because we didn't know what we were doing. We were just having fun, and we're like, yeah, let's have a website. And things started to break down. Aerosol got involved. He joined the site, and then he joined us. We rescued him from that.
I paddled my way over to our lifeboat.
Yeah, I remember Aerosol from the Ram boards.
Yeah,
back in that
he was.
thing.
I was
He was there.
a meanie. I wasn't very well liked. I now, because I tried to be as professional as I could be, and then it's like, well, maybe I'm being a little too strict.
It's
'Cause,
okay, we
like,
still love you.
Thank
Aerosol.
you. Okay, get another hug, guys.
I'm a hugger. It's what I do. Which is actually kind of ironic that because I now write for Hirotaku, so
yeah.
I mean there's some cool guys over there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, what's been the biggest change to the show since the beginning? Like, what do you feel is the biggest change overall since
The length.
length? Length.
Yeah, I mean, we started the show off originally about an hour and a half or so.
Sometimes it's longer, sometimes it's shorter. You never know how, whatever
And I
mood
mean,
we're in. And
like last season, we had some that were pushing over 4 hours sometimes, and it all depends on the content. When we were doing R&R inside the show, those episodes were naturally longer than normal episodes because we had a discussion about an entire franchise sometimes inside the show. So those were naturally longer. Obviously, like our episode where we shoved the interview with Kerrigan Mahan in there. That episode ended up really long because we shoved an entire interview in there.
And the interview part was 2.5 hours. And
Yeah.
it ended up being like a 4-hour podcast. So, the rest of it was a normal length show, an hour and a half, with 2.5 hours with the interview, which was great and fun, and everything else. We just made the show extra long.
Yeah, I actually, this morning I ran into Kerrigan Mahan as he was going into the convention. It was like, dude, I love the podcast you did with RRR, and he was like, yeah, it was a great show, and boy, did I sure ramble. I'm just like, oh, that's funny.
Yeah, he fit right in actually.
He did.
Yeah,
He was worried, but he's like, "God, just stop me if I talk too much." I'm like, no, you just keep talking. We're not gonna we're not gonna make you stop, and you are free to say whatever because that's what we do here.
yeah.
I mean, outside of that, it hasn't changed a whole lot from what I remember. I mean, my memory is hazy, but
I mean, I think one of the biggest real change from the beginning is that we added all the social media aspect to it.
Mm-hmm.
When we started, it was just, okay, we're going to talk about a little bit of news, and then we have our Sentai discussion, the writer discussion, and then really after that we ended it. We added the ramble time, and then we've also added all the Twitter and the Facebook and the interaction.
Tweet questions up.
And shoot these jingles, and we we just
Those
added
became a thing.
that kind
I love
of
those.
the Facebook question where we ask y'all stuff in the answer, and we get responses back, or with we did a caption contest a few times when we could get a picture and remember to do things, and we took the summaries out to just try and tighten things up a little bit. But that's been the biggest change, is getting the fans involved, people who listen to us involved in our show, and you as well, and it actually brings something to it because we know, okay, people are listening, and we like getting that feedback, we like getting that response, and we recognize the same names. Like when we come here and people meet us, we go, oh yeah, I remember you comment on the Facebook and you gave us a Twitter question or whatever it is, and it's really neat to actually get that fan feedback and then put it in the next show.
Yeah, and we've been getting a lot more of that recently.
Yeah, a lot more.
With
Facebook
season
and stuff
5,
responses.
we sort of implemented a lot of little tweaks, some of which stuck, some of which didn't, but I think that's kind of what we do more often than not really big things, but just little changes.
Yeah,
here
if you
and
go
there.
listen to, Bois Gros Shit, which is the first episode, and RRR Live, previously recorded, which is the one we just put up yesterday, you'll go, wow, that's a lot different. But if you actually go from one and listen through all 200 and something episodes in a row, you don't notice it as much because it's just a slowly change. Oh, well, let's change this a little bit here. Well, let's change this a little bit there. We don't do anything major, but just little tweaks over time to try and make the show better.
All right. Well, final question. What can we expect from the RRR podcast going towards the future?
a lot more of the same, obviously, because that's generally what we do. But for me personally, after having the interview with Kerrigan, I would absolutely love to get more guests on the show, voice actors, it doesn't really matter, because that was just an all-around great time. I mean, obviously, if you get more, hopefully not like 2.5 hours.
A little bit more structured.
But no, I would absolutely love to have more actors on the show to do interviews and just kind of all around hang out like Kerrigan did, because that was an overall blast. So that's my one wish with the show right now, is to to try to get ourselves out there a little more and try to get some more interviews and stuff lined up.
Yeah, what can we expect? Well, hopefully me staying awake. with that comes from a lot of being with my work schedule, and so we do try to work around that so I can be as awake as possible to record. Because it really does bother me, and I say it when we talk about things on the show, is I don't like falling asleep like that all the time. It kind of pisses me off because I want to be there. I want to be in the discussion. I don't like missing recording nights and stuff. Sometimes it can't be helped because I'm exhausted and I got family things going on. I got, a wedding we're planning. I have a 3-year-old now, and we're having one in January. So what can you expect? More outside noises from small children. That'll be a thing, but,
Well, I think everybody loves, hearing Kaylee. And
yeah,
such
it's...
on there.
She tried to jump in on the Kerrigan interview. I muted the mic. Y'all didn't. No one heard it. She came in the room, and she climbed on the bed. She got right up next to me. As soon as she did that, I hit the button, the mute button, because I'm like, I don't know what's gonna happen. And not that I'm concerned about Kerrigan's language, because she watches pretty much anything with us, which we really shouldn't do. But sometimes it's not always possible to censor everything from a 3-year-old. And she. So I want to talk to him. No, but you cannot talk to him. Why not? I want to. No, Kaylee, Daddy's doing stuff for the podcast. You have to go. And she got mad and stormed off. But that's probably gonna happen more. Sometimes you hear her. She gets up in the middle of the night. I was scared. You put me back in bed. All right, whatever. Tiny highway ensues.
Tiny highway. More tiny highway. That's all I want. Because I'm the one who kind of manages the Twitter account, and I oversee a lot of the Facebook messages as well. I really want to get more of that out there. I really want to build up more interactions. Right now, obviously I haven't messed with it in about a week since we've been in California, but I really want to do that. It's kind of just like, oh yeah, there's a Facebook question, go do it, guys. But I want to get more out there.
Yeah, we've been updating our personal Twitters with our
Yeah,
adventures.
we're like, we'll do hashtag RRPMC.
And that never happened.
And it's like, we'll keep you guys posted, and then all of us are on our personal Twitters just going...
like the
tweeting away, but we accomplished what we wanted to do, just in a different outlet than
we covered
intended.
the show, we talked about it, we just didn't do it through the
I live
Twitter.
tweeted
Oh,
2
yeah.
panels. So.
Yeah, dude, I know the same thing. Like me and Zeltrax, like we were talking. Yeah, man, we're gonna hang together all throughout the weekend. And we're gonna have like a little HenshinCast like hangout. And then I had to get registered, and he went off on his own, and we never saw each other again.
Yeah, I was talking to Craig earlier about him. So.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty much all my questions. So I just want to thank you all for
Absolutely.
doing
Thanks
this
for
interview.
thanks for doing
having
this.
us.
This
And
is fun. I like interviews.
I have a confession.
Yes.
I am Z-Red. I was the one who did the cookie reviews. The cookie review.
You're a bro.
Oh, I totally remember that.
Yeah,
You're a bro.
yeah, that was me. I was younger. My voice was higher, but that
You're
was
a
me.
bro. That's amazing.
I don't know what's happening.
Okay, Kevin didn't watch it. We
After
did.
the cookie discussion, he put up a review of those cookies.
No,
Yeah.
I didn't even know that happened. I
I loved it.
I didn't do any reviews after that. I just
I missed
thought it was
the
amazing.
discussion, and so I didn't know about the cookie thing until after it happened. So I didn't know about any of it.
It's actually funny. I recorded after that review. I recorded a Samurai Megazord review, Gosei Great Megazord review, and a spray can review. A spray can review with a bunch of books as the background. But then I never posted them for whatever reason. So.
No, good job on that. That was amazing.
I
Now-
actually did wonder what happened to that guy. So he posted this review. He was so nice about the podcast, and then we never saw him again.
I got to be busy, so like originally I had intended to do it as like, oh, it's like an alter ego, like Daniel Adkins is Bruce Wayne and Z-Red is Batman, but it just it became too grand of an idea. So yeah, so that's me. That's me.
No, that was awesome.
Yeah.
Props to you on that one.
All right. And Dawson's not here, so I can't shake Dawson's hand.
It's okay. He doesn't like human contact anyway. He'd have his bottle of hand sanitizer ready.
Just
Yeah.
pretend.
So thank you once again.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
for
Again,
such
thanks
a
for having
great
us.
show.
This is
Yeah.
fun.
Anyways, where can we find you all on the internet-verse place thing?
Oh, well, personally, I'm at Aerosol Hero, and that's it. But
You
we have
used to do Gabatira and Friends.
I used to. I do have. I still have a YouTube account that I update maybe every 4 months or so. I do weird things with toys.
That sounds awful. Don't say it that way.
I do funny things with toys and give
That's a
them
little
weird
better.
voices and do fake sitcoms with Gabatira
And a stuffed alpaca.
and a stuffed alpaca.
He's a bro. Wow. Okay. Twitter is basically everything is Shuko and Shinobi. I mean, .com, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. It's all the same. It's all connected.
Kind of the same thing. I have the Jedi Mind 2005 Twitter, I have the Facebook page, my YouTube. You go on the ShukoandShinobi.com. Like I said, all that whole cool guy list section, all those lists. I just did one for the shift cars for Kamen Rider Drive. I got the keys, lock seats, all that stuff. And the figure arts, all the figures, we've been putting those up on there. As I get information, I try to keep it updated. That's kind of what I do, and I help Shuki out because we're bros like that.
Yeah, I use it all the time, so I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
And I help him update the toy release schedule. We do that.
That needs to be updated.
Yes, it does.
And
And
Drive's
then-
not on there yet.
And I noticed. And we have our Ask FMs also
Yeah.
to come ask us questions.
And
And ask smart questions, okay, people? Please, I've seen that you guys get a lot of crap on
You don't
that,
even
so-
see the crap I delete.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
I don't delete
There's-
anything.
there's a
I just
couple
answer
of-
sarcastically back at people.
Yes.
Usually with the phrase "your mom." Some kind of way I put it in there.
I like posting pictures and as responses. It saves time typing. I guess we should actually plug the podcast.
That would probably make
'cause
sense.
We have our Twitter, which is at the RRR Podcast,
Same
and the
with
Facebook is the same thing too. So we're active. I mean, we update every week with our Facebook stuff, and every so often we do Twitter questions. So
Every so often.
that's fun.
And we don't take a week off on the show. We record if it's Christmas night, if it's
We-
New Year's Eve. We record every
We
week.
do. We,
Yeah.
As of right now, we have yet to miss a week since we started in 2010.
That
So-
I commend you on that, because as someone who tried to do a podcast bi-weekly, it's not easy.
No.
Dedication unrivaled.
We did it here in a hotel room.
Better than you.
I've been saying that for years. He's got the JDF ego all over.
I do.
Check out my
I-
Ask FM. It's
He's
all
got
on
a
there.
green stripe
I
right
am.
back
It's right.
here.
It's right. You can't see it. I'm wearing a shirt. It's back there. It's like Godzilla
really
back
is.
there. It's nuts. I am JDF actually. That's my actual secret.
That's the reveal of the con.
Hey,
That's-
you would have
that's a
gotten it
big
away
reveal.
with it too if it weren't for you meddling kids.
But yeah, so RidersRangersandRebels.com is still the URL there. That will link to a very poorly put together Podbean page.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I do some stuff with WordPress. You know, if you ever need a better
Yeah,
site.
I'll hook you up.
All right, cool.
Or hook me up or whatever, what direction that's.
Well,
Someone's
each other
hooking
up.
someone up.
Okay. We're hooking up.
Never it's me.
Well, I mean,
I'm never the one
I thought
getting
you
hooked
already
up.
had Cat. I didn't realize I needed to hook you up with someone else.
I hook up with everyone, so all
Oh
around.
yeah.
You know it.
It's
All
been
right.
a very awkward weekend.
It has. It's so wow.
Yes.
It's been a thing.
All right, so this is the HenshinCast talking with 3/4 of the RR podcast.
The best 3/4.
Yeah, stupid Dawson. I mean, when you go to school.
Well,
school.
it was Gaim for school, so
Oh God. I think that's the cue.
Yeah.
that is
So, you know where to find us at the HenshinCast. So, you know, let's hear a round of applause for my fantastic guest.
Yay! Go us.
Thank you, everyone.
Yes,
You
we-
can't see it, but there are millions of fans.
Millions.
Yes, we have
the
an
room.
audience.
The room's packed with chairs.
Okay, that's good. So, any last words from any of you?
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's my last word.
Okay,
And
okay.
thank your mother.
Aerosol gets another hug.
Oh,
Yuki
we're
gets a
getting hugs.
hug.
Oh, we're doing hugs now. We did hugs. We did.
And
Where's he coming? He's
Kevin.
coming on this side.
Where's he going?
Oh, he's there. Oh, he's
Where's
all
he
over
gonna
me.
be?
yeah. All right. So, thank you once again for being here and doing this, and we will see you all later.
See you.
Bye.